Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. I am Starco Gaming and we are back with another Dragon Champion video, guys. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of the most underrated character in the game, Sharp. A lot of people see Sharp like, yeah, it's not that great, but that's because you're not playing him right. That's because you're not playing him in the right team, because you put this guy in the right team and he is going to kill it. His third skill is one of the most powerful skill in the game if it's actually used properly. So today we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, how to play skills, which skills actually work to get to level 6. We're going to talk about runes, we're going to talk about artifact, we're going to talk about stats, and we're going to showcase him in raid gameplay too. Tier 8 raid gameplay, we're going to have that on the stream too. So a big video, guys. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this video. And also, guys, if you enjoyed the video, if you don't mind, that will be awesome if you can throw a like on this video. This is pretty much the only way that YouTube knows that this video is actually worth promoting for them. So a little like takes seconds and it's really appreciated. So now, before we get right into the topic of this video, guys, one last thing. If you are level 15 or below, make sure to use the promo code STARCO to get $10 worth of free stuff. To do so, it is very simple, guys. You go in settings, you go and use promo code, and you enter the word STARCO, STARKO. You press OK and you will receive $10 worth of free stuff, which include 500 direct wins and 250,000 gold, giving you a huge boost early on in the game to kick in some early progression. So promo code STARCO for awesomeness. So let's jump into the roster here and let's take a look at my boy Sharp. This is actually on the live server, guys. This is not test server. Sadly, I do not have the opportunity to show character sheet on the test server right now, and I cannot say why, sadly, guys. I'm sorry, and I'm trying to be a little bit more careful because I kind of got in trouble for showing some loading screen earlier this week and last week. So I gotta be a little bit more careful about what I show on my video, so I don't take a slap on the end. So that's what we're trying to avoid. So we're going to be taking a look at what we have here. Then at the end of this video, we're going to be jumping on the test server without showing any stat sheet or without showing any loading screen. We're going to jump into raid down there, and we're going to actually show some gameplay. But both character on both actually pretty similar build. Like, the big difference is that I have like 180 speed on the test server, 230% critical damage, and like 43% critical chance on the test server, and that's pretty much the big difference. So the difference is actually not that big. I actually have a very solid build on my Sharp on this live server. So we're gonna start by talking about skills, which skills she'll get a level 6, and then we're going to talk about the runes and the stats you actually want to have in the runes. So let's start with the passive skills. Daily training increase critical chance by 30%. So not only he already has 37% critical chance here, but to add this 30%, so that gives him 67%. Plus, if you go and you add the talent leadership, which is what you should be used with as a leader, that gives you another 30%. So pretty much to reach 100%, all you need pretty much is 40. Wow, I cannot say the word. 40% critical chance on the stat sheet, but you can still get other critical chance from other stats, from other skills. So anything above 30%, this guy's actually amazing, to be honest. You don't really need more than that, but this ability is definitely important to get to level 6, obviously. Next ability, you got this one. You can see here, see, gain the critical chance increase and apply it to all eyes, so more critical chance here. So pretty much 30% with the leadership of talent is passive, and this ability is pretty much 100% guarantee critical chance on this guy, which makes them very strong, because every single hit you get on land are going to do, like here, 220% extra damage, well, total damage. So that's gonna hit like monster truck, which is the big advantage this guy has. But anyway, here, if you don't get this ability to level 5, you don't apply it to all the allies. You know, apply it to 4 allies. It's fine if you don't have minions. Technically, this could definitely be upgraded to only a level 5, because 4 allies is usually what you have out there. So yeah, I can see this one getting there. But if you're gonna be playing with the characters like Mordoom, or eventually with elf characters that's gonna have summons, well, then you might actually need to get it to level 6. But as for right now, if you set this guy up for a elf team, level 5 is definitely fine for this ability. Next ability, you have the Wombo Combo. The second ability, one of the most hard-hitting ability in the game. It is ridiculous. It's pretty much 40,000-50,000 in damage that this ability does when you get it going, with a pretty much 100% chance to actually critical hit. Always critical damage is about 15,000 to 20,000 per hit if you have a solid build with a solid elf team. So yeah, this ability is crazy. So attack the enemy 3 times. Its attack deal 150% physical damage. If you get that down to 125% on 3 attack, that's 75% damage. So definitely this ability is very important to get to level 6. And then lastly, we have the basic ability here, deal 250% physical damage to enemy and 50% chance to inflict armor decrease for to return. Now you could actually see that as this guy in potency. No, this armor decrease a 50% chance. That means if you have 100% potency, that it's 100% chance to have 50% chance to apply armor decrease. So a 50% chance is never really great, guys. So you don't build up potency on the characters for one skill that has 50% chance to get applied, in my personal opinion. Now oh, and if you don't get this skill to level 6, you lose 35% of damage. It's actually not that bad. We can definitely deal with that. So this ability to level 5 is fine. So basically, in theory, there is only 2 abilities that you really need to get to level 6. The first one is daily training, the best availability, the most important one to get to level 6. And then the second ability, Wombo Combo, because the damage is just great with this ability at level 6. Now, if you do have scroll to get one more ability to level 6, I will go with critical thinking. Definitely not that it will benefit you really, but if you play with a, you know, if you build a raid team with all those characters that have summons, so you can and multi attack, so you can actually get as many attack, like you got Mordoom, you got Renta, and then you got him. You're gonna have a bunch of minions out there and shit. So phase 4 the raid, for example. So yeah, this ability at level 6 will actually be very important at this point. So definitely in third position, that will be this ability to get to level 6. And now, how do you play this guy? You never use this skill, the second skill, if you don't have the critical damage buff from the other skill, or any critical damage buff. Obviously, if you run in with Delman can apply that critical damage buff. We can, you know, if it's up, you don't need to have this skill up by the time you use the second skills, but always have the critical damage buff up before use that second skill, but because pretty much you're guaranteed to critical hit with this skill, and if you run with talent leadership, obviously. And then with the critical damage up, this skill will do so much more damage. So wait to have critical damage up to use this skill. Use the third skill on cooldown, and then use the second skill when your critical damage is up. Then the basic attack as a filler. That is pretty much how you play this character. It's very simple, really basic. Next, the runes, guys. Definitely we're gonna go with 2 critical chance and 3 critical damage. Now, if your critical chance is already high enough, you know, if with 2 critical chance runes, that puts you, for example, at 45% critical chance, then you don't need those 2 critical chance runes. You could actually go with something like 2 HP to give him more survivability, or something like that. The 2 sets are not, there's not many of them, like the tenacity, potency, L. I think L will actually be the best for him, as his HP is kind of low basic. So if you have high enough critical chance, you go with HP here instead, or potency if you feel fine with bringing potency in the mix. But my recommendation settings, guys, is 2 critical chance and 4 critical damage. The critical damage because you're gonna get 30% critical damage, which is going to give you a huge boost, obviously. So now if we talk about the primary stats you want to focus on, primary number 1, you want speed. Primary number 2, you want critical damage, and primary number 3, you want damage. This guy does not need potency. As I said, it's not worth for his first skill to actually work on the potency, so it is damage. Now if we talk about secondary stats, the more important stats: number 1, speed. Number 2, critical chance, unless you are close, you are already at 40%. And then third one is damage. Those are 3 stats you want to work on. So if we look at the secondary stats here, you can see critical chance here, and damage, pretty solid. Lacking of speed a little bit. Well, here this one's primary speed, but I mean the first one here we have speed, and apparently we have some potency, but yeah, definitely that is not my greatest rune here. Only 3 speed. I do need to get a 4-star rune to replace that eventually. Here we have critical chance and damage, again lacking the speed. Here we have speed, and that's it. Man, I got some terrible runes on this guy. And here we have a little bit of speed, again no critical chance, no damage here. That is a terrible setup as secondary stats, but you can see the pattern as I'm talking, explaining what I'm missing on those runes is like speed. You want to have speed on every single secondary stats on all the runes except the one that has speed as primary. And then you want to have as much critical chance to reach that 40% critical chance, and then you have damage to feel as much damage as possible to get you the numbers you want. So you can see here we have 37.39% critical chance, which is good enough, to be honest. 162% speed, we have 219% critical damage, and some of that comes from the artifact too, obviously. You can see artifact, this is literally the best in slots for this guy. Not only it has critical damage that you need, HP that you need, but also the ability on it is for sharp. It's actually a pretty strong one. Landing 3 hits to a single target, so basically you land a second skill. You have a 60% chance to apply damage increase and a currency increase for 2 turns, and that can apply twice per battle. So 2 times in the fight that you're going to be using that second skill, for example, you're gonna have 60% chance to apply damage increase and a currency increase. So this is a massive artifact for this guy. There is no other artifact you should equip on this guy. So this is the basic of this guy. So if we do a really quick recap, guys, ability 1 to get to level 6 is daily training. Number 2, wombo combo. Number 3, critical tanking. Stats: primary speed, critical damage, and damage. Secondary speed, critical chance, and damage. And artifact, this is what's the name here? Cup of Cheer, only artifact that should be equipped on this fella. So that sums out how to build and play these characters. In the next portion of this video, guys, we're gonna be jumping in tier 8 raid. We're gonna showcase the Solius phase, because a lot of people are gonna be no slow in the health team. They cannot do much. That's not totally true. That is not totally true. You can do between 10 and 15% within the elf team if you play it properly, if you have a strong elf team, which is actually quite a lot without a slow buff, to be honest. So we're going to be jumping at the end of Solius fight. Again, no loading screen, guys. So as soon as I'm done talking, we're going to be right into that. Here we are, guys, Solius tier 8 raid with my elf team. So we have Talon lead with Killian, Lula, Delman, and Sharp. Actually a very amazing combo here. And obviously we are not bringing Nightel, because that will be pointless with her being you know, magic damage. That was completely useless if we brought her. So she is not in the team, but she could actually do some decent job if she was. Definitely. But what we're really going to pay attention here today is how much damage we actually get done with this team. That, I think that's what's going to be very important. Now, we were lucky enough to do ability block here on those side people, but we're going to need to kill them before they town. So we're going to go with some attack here, at least on one of them, which shall help us a little bit. Oh, more ability blocks. Sure, I'll take it. So now we can actually do some extra focus on this guy. Now we get the blind, obviously. That always happens. So that actually gives us a free turn to actually apply all our buff if we can. And then we're going to be able to kick some ass after that. So now we got everything ready here. So now it's time to do the damage here, and you can see even with all the defensive buff he has on him, so he still took a lot of damage here. We were able to apply that ability block again. Damn, we are killing it. You can see even though we do not have any slow, we are still destroying that pretty easy mode, which is actually quite crazy if you ask me, to be honest. It is actually quite crazy. We're going to be doing over 15% damage. Really easy here, which is pretty amazing. And now we do have the bad stuff on us. It's actually going to be interesting to see how much damage we did overall with M2, which hopefully it does not get killed here. That'll be awesome to get one more out, but yeah, he got killed still. This whole combo, because a big part of the damage that's happening here, it's also due to the fact that his buff from his third skill is amazing. It is definitely amazing, so that does help a lot in the damage here. And you can see we are close to get them 20% damage here. See, 20% damage. That is almost ridiculous here, if you ask me. And we're going to be able to get that 20%, well, almost 19.93% without slow. This is how OP this team here. 640,000 damage, and obviously Talon is the most of the damage because of her crazy AoE, but you can see Sharp still did the damage here. Definitely 100,000 damage, and without Sharp, Talon might not be doing so much critical hit and having so much critical damage. So he is a very important part to make her damage to be a lot stronger. So you can kind of see why Sharp is actually a very important part of the elf team, obviously. So that is pretty much all we had to show for this video. Obviously there's no point showing this case, showcasing this guy in arena, because he is not an arena guy. He's a guy you build strongly for the Ember event, and then for elf team in battleground, and then for guild raid. And it's actually amazing for phase 4 too. If you build them, or if you build them around a multi-attacker team or summon team, you can actually get a lot of damage done too. So he's a raid guy, he's a battleground guy, and that's what you need to worry about with this guy, and he does an amazing job, in my opinion. He's one of the most underrated character in my personal opinion. Now, if you have other underrated characters, guys, you wanted to name that I did not review yet, feel free to name them in the comment section. We can actually talk about them, maybe bring them in the review, and, you know, focus on the part that they are highly underrated if that's the case. So guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for our daily Dragon Champion video. Also, we stream every single night, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Make sure to come by, chill with us, have fun, laugh at me when I get my ass kicked by the top team in arena. Always fun. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully you have a good time in this video. Hopefully this video will help you progress into the world of Dragon Champion, and I will see you guys again in the next video. Thank you.